On today's video, we're going to be talking about issues that you may face or you have already faced after age 70. That's what we're going to talk about today on Beauty Over 70 with Lee. I hope you'll join me. Okay, my friends, on today's video, we're going to mix things up a little bit and we're going to be talking about some serious issues. That's right. We're going to be talking about some issues that you may face after the age of 70. You may have already faced some of these issues. They may have already landed on your doorstep. I know they have mine. And, you know, we just need to bring it on the table. And let's talk about this today, okay? Let's just talk about several issues that have hit me and may have hit you or might hit you, so you can prepare yourself if you're not quite 70 yet, okay? So welcome to my channel today. If you're new, I'm Lee, and I just welcome you with a big hug. Got my notes here. I can pretty much remember everything, but you know, I don't want to leave anything out because this is a serious topic. Okay, if you're new to my channel, like I told you, I'm Lee and I'm 77 years old. These are challenges, these are issues that I have faced for several years now. And they seem to be getting worse, going downhill. Number one is, and these are in no certain order, you may be faced down the road or have already been faced with widowhood. Whether you are a female or a male, you may lose a spouse in the future, or you may have already lost a spouse. It is mentally devastating. It's physically devastating, draining. Your life is tore upside down. It just seems like the world stops. And you almost have to walk in those shoes to know, because I have walked in those shoes. I'm in my second marriage. I was married to my first husband 44 years, and I lost him to Alzheimer's and lung cancer. And I was a caregiver for several years before he passed. And when you lose somebody, you lose part of yourself. You lose part of yourself. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is to prepare you. There's really no way you can prepare yourself until you walk in those shoes. But there's so much to do. After you lose a spouse, there's so much to do. There's red tape that you don't even want to know about until you get there. So I advise you to prepare yourself the best you can to get all the legal papers, to get everything in order as much as you can. Even if if you're in your 50s or your 60s and you're super healthy, you never know. Life can go just like that. You can be faced with a devastating illness in a heartbeat. Now, I'm not saying just start grieving. That's not what I'm saying. Live life to the fullest. Live every day to the fullest. But I'm saying start getting paperwork together. Start getting things together that you know you're going to need. Documents, all kinds of documents. You know, You just never ever know. That's what I'm saying. I have a daughter that she'll be 56. And I told her, you know, even though you're going to be 56 years old, you and your husband need to start preparing and get everything in order, because you never ever know where your children will know exactly where everything is. So you can read in between the lines and know what I'm saying, okay? Number 2. Caregiver of a spouse. If you have a spouse that you're a caregiver for, whether you're a male or a female, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Someone that has Alzheimer's or dementia, their road is every day is most difficult. And I know this because I've walked it. I just told you that I lost my first husband with full-fledged Alzheimer's. And it is very, very difficult. And if you have a spouse that has a terminal issue like cancer or kidney failure or something like that, something that's very life-threatening, that's what I'm going through now. My husband has cancer. He has CHF, congestive heart failure, and there's many doctor visits, there's many hospital visits, there's a lot to be done. There's a lot to be done. So if you have a spouse that you're caring for, you need to take care of them, but you also need to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself, because that is something that I had to go into intense therapy. After I lost my first husband, I had to go into intense therapy because I didn't take care of myself. I put myself on the back burner till I almost lost my life. And I'm sitting here today, and we need to talk about this. You need to get out. You need to get out as much as you can. You need an outlet. And you know, you say, well, you're sitting there and that's really hard to do. It is hard to do, because I walked in those shoes for almost 8 years. Almost 8 years. I had friends shop for me. I had shopping people come to me for food and different things. I had neighbors help me. I let myself go mentally and physically. I didn't get exercise except running around, going and doing. I let myself go. I aged because I didn't take care of my skin as I should have. It's just very difficult. If you're sitting out there and you're hearing my voice saying these words, and you're a caregiver, or you have been a caregiver and you lost someone, whether it's a spouse, a mother, a child, no matter what relationship, you know what I'm saying. Because again, those are my favorite words. You have to walk in those shoes to know how they hurt and to know how tight they get. You have to. You can't imagine. So just take time for yourself. Take time for yourself, because those are challenges that you're going to be facing. And you have to take care of that person, but take time for yourself. Number 3 is that you might face after 70. You lose friends and family members. They pass away and they move on. You have friends that move on to assisted living because they can no longer live in their big home or their condominium. They need more care. So they go to assisted living, or they move to another state to be with their family so they can live with their family. Say it's a mother or a father may go to live with a daughter or a son. or a granddaughter, whatever the case might be. And you lose. Those are challenges that we face after we get over 70, or some of us before we reach 70. It happens to all of us. And if it hasn't happened to you, it will. It will. If you live long enough, it will. We face after age 70 is driving. We have to give up driving at some point, whether we have a dementia or Alzheimer's or a physical disability. We have to give up driving, and it's hard. Now, that hasn't hit me yet. I'm still driving, and I'm doing really good. And I've never caused a wreck. I have a squeaky clean record, and I can sit here and honestly say that. I've been hit in the back, and I've been in some things, but I've never caused one. Thank God, I've never caused one. But giving up driving, now my husband had to give up driving last couple years ago. And that can be very difficult, giving up driving when they take the keys away. It takes away so much. You can't get to the grocery store to do the things that you want to do. You can't go shopping. You can't get to the doctor. You have to depend on people to take you to the doctor even. And you have to depend on others, whether it's family members or friends or some kind of public service that gets you there. You lose your dependence, and that's hard. That's hard. But it's something we're going to all face. I'm going to face it. You may have already faced it. It can be devastating. Downsizing. You may need to downsize, move from your big home or your big condominium. You may have to go from a large home to a small condominium, as I did after I lost my first husband. I didn't want to live in that large home. I couldn't take care of all that home and all that property. So I bought a condominium and we moved. Yeah, that's what I did. We all are going to face downsizing at one way or another. And if you can't live alone in a condominium, you may have to go to an assisted living. But that would be kind of the last resort maybe. But downsizing, not only from a huge home and a lot of property to take care of, you can keep things neater. You can make things cleaner. You can make things safer in a smaller place. You really can. I mean, yeah, you got to have room to move around, but, you know, making things neater to where you can find things easier, to where you don't have to rummage through a lot of things to get what you really, really need. And can you make things, they're easier to clean. It's easier to clean an island and a few countertops than it is to wash an entire huge set of cabinets and maybe 2 islands, clean out a massive pantry or a massive bathroom or a huge shower or a huge tub. You know, it's so easier, much easier when you go to a smaller place because you can have time to do other things you want to do. But last and not least, it makes things safer. It makes things safer. It really does. If you live in a place that has stairs, if you go to a place that you don't have to worry about stairs, it makes things safer. And if you have throw rugs around that are non-skid, you know, put pads under them or take them up totally. Because, you know, you don't want to slip and fall. Is it worth it? Is it worth falling to have a particular pretty throw rug there that you may trip over one day, or and you live alone, or somebody you could hurt, you could break a knee, you could break a neck, you could break a hip. You know how long it takes after 70 to heal from something like that? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just make your home comfortable and safe for you. That's what I do. And another issue, my friend, you may have to face, or you're already facing, is bladder issues. I know I face them. I face bladder issues. I just, I used to be able to go to bed and get up maybe once during the night, or sleep all the way through the night, that good sleep, you know what I mean? Maybe get up one time, depending on how late I drank something, but not anymore. I get up usually about 3 times a night to go to the bathroom with my bladder. We all have it. Let's talk about this and lay it on the table. We all are dealt with this. Whether you're male or female, we deal with this over 70, right? Frequent stops to the bathroom. You get dressed, you empty your bladder before you go out. As soon as you reach your destination, where do you go? To the bathroom, right? It's what I do. I drink a lot of fluids. I stay hydrated. I drink mostly water is what I drink. I have orange juice of the morning, but that's it. The rest of the time I drink water or green tea. I don't drink as much green tea as I used to, but I stay hydrated. Mostly just plain water. And I head to the bathroom. I go to the grocery store. I get my cart. I head right back to the bathroom before I start shopping. Are you like that? Don't deny it. It happens. We're over 70, I'll be out and I'll have leakage. So I'm having to start to wear, protection, some pads, because, I don't want my pants wet. Or somebody will make me laugh and I pee my pants. It's just the way it is. It happens. I'm over 70. I'm 77 years old, for God's sake, But that's one of the issues that you're going to face. You might have already faced it. If you're not 70, if you're not over 70, you're going to face it. It happens. Dry skin. Of dry skin. My skin used to be so supple, so radiant. Being a retired esthetician, knowing all the tricks and the trades of the skincare industry, age does it. There's no amount of potions. There's no amount of water that you can put in your body that's going to do that. Your skin just loses elasticity. It gets drier as we age. It's just a fact of life. Yeah, I think I have pretty good skin for 77, but yeah, age is drying my skin. The last thing I want to talk to you about, and this is super, super important, and I kind of touched on this earlier, but this one is really, really important. Legal matters. If you're over 70, if you haven't already been faced with some legal matters, now I'm not talking about somebody suing you or, God forbid, something like that. I'm talking about legal matters that when you lose a spouse that you're going to be faced with. Be prepared. I'm looking at my notes here. Be prepared now and start with getting together legal papers. Start now and get together legal papers. Get your marriage certificate. Get copies. Get your driver's license. Get your passport. Get all legal documents, birth certificates. Get all legal matters. Get all of those things and make copies. Put the original in the safety deposit box or someplace safe if you haven't already. That's what I do. I'm just telling you what I do. And leave all of the, don't leave your family to have to go through that. Don't, make a plan. Make a plan and start a book. Don't leave your family to have to make decisions for you what you want after you're gone. Don't put the burden on them, number one, because they really don't know. If you haven't discussed this with them and you don't have this on paper, they don't know your wishes. Now, I have a will. I have a will, and I've had a will for years. I have all those legal documents. But what I'm saying is, make sure you put a family member in charge that you can trust. Your spouse, your son, your daughter, somebody that you can really trust to carry out your wishes. Put it in a will, but also let them talk to them and let them know your wishes. Somebody as a POA in charge of your health care that you can trust, that you know 100% is going to carry out your wishes. Just in case. Health care and financial. Start preparing now. And I'll tell you what, you know, we all have, and I've showed this before, we all have little password books. We all have password books, because if something happens to you and there's nobody in charge and you don't have a password book to your computer, to all of your credit cards, to all of your passwords to everything anymore. If you don't have passwords and you don't have them in a book, in a safe place to where somebody you trust can get to those, they're not going to know where to start. It's going to be a long, long process for those individuals, whether it's one or several. Start now. Keep a place and keep a book and keep it in a safe place. And I'll tell you what I've done. You can go on Amazon and you can get, and I looked at that book as a matter of fact, and this book is called, it's a big book, and what it's called, After I'm Gone. And you can put documentation in there for your loved one that can go through to carry out your wishes. That book is kind of pricey. I didn't want that book. I wanted to do mine my way. I went to a big box store. I went to Office Depot, as a matter of fact, where they have different size binders. And this just happens to be one of mine. And I'm not going to show you the label or anything. There's a label back here, and you can label this. And I'm not going to show you what's on the front, but as you can see, it's a binder. And I got a set of tabs, several tabs, and I put it right in here. And I make my own. And this, you can get these at Walmart. You can get them at Target. Mine is about that thick. And it's everything I need right in there. You can get them thinner or you can get them thicker. But this was adequate for me, everything that I needed with my copies. And as I flip through here, I'm finding my passwords are in here. And they're in this book. To all of the accounts, on the banking, on all the utilities, the credit cards, the important information. Medical is in here. There's copies of driver's license, passport. There's copies of my will in here. The original is in the safety deposit box, but there's copies in here. Marriage license, birth certificates. I mean, just think about all the documentation you need. And when you lose somebody, I advise you to get at least 25, if not 30, death certificates. You think, why that many? Well, this age that we live in, you can't even turn off your power. You're not going to be able to turn off your water. You're not going to be able to close a credit card without a copy of a death certificate. So you're going to need several death certificate copies. Yes, they're pricey. They're pricey. And some requires an original. They won't take a copy. It's got to be an original for your protection. You know, whether it's, you know, just get yourself a book. Just do it. I know it takes time, but do it. Just cut out that couple hours that you're watching television or whatever you're doing for that couple of hours. Just get you a book, get you some labels, and go through it and start now. And believe me, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Facing these challenges, like I said before, you may have already went through these. I have. And I have firsthand experience what it's like. So I don't want you to go through that. Just prepare now. But, you know, I'm facing challenges. I faced challenges way before 70 on my vision. Your vision changes. Your vision changes. You may have to, you know, be in glasses. You may have to have cataract surgery. I just went through back-to-back double corneal transplants in my eyes. You're going to be facing hearing challenges over 70, if you haven't already. I know a couple of years ago I had to get hearing aids. $6,000 for hearing aids. But you know what? My life is so much easier. I can hear a siren if I'm driving. I can hear people speaking. I can actually go to the doctor and hear what the doctor is saying to me. When your husband tells you that when your TV is up blasting and it's like, get you some hearing aids. You know, you're not left out of a conversation, you know. It's not embarrassing. It's not even though with my short hair, it's not embarrassing to wear hearing aids. It makes your life so much easier if you'll just go ahead and do it. You know, don't fight it. Just go ahead and get you some hearing aids. If you're unstable on your feet, your mobility, that's another thing we face after 70. We face mobility changes. We're not as steady as we used to. If you need a walker or a rollator, get yourself one. Don't let your pride get in the way. It's not worth falling. If somebody's seeing me with a walker or a rollator, I don't care. I want to protect my body. Yeah. Your mobility is going to change. You're not as stable as you used to be. Get yourself some good support shoes. Don't wear shoes that are just because they're attractive. Wear shoes that are safe with good sturdy support on the bottom. You don't want to fall. You don't want to fall. So, I know I've touched on a lot, but these are challenges that I have faced. You may have already faced them, or you're going to face them. Or a loved one is going to face them. So, I hope I have opened up some things here that have put some light on the table for you. I know it was kind of depressing in a way, but it's enlightening to some people. If I've helped just a few people out there, I feel good in my heart about doing that, because these are things that I am facing at 77. And I faced these years ago. I'm doing great for my age, but I want to stay as safe as I can and add longevity to my years by eating healthy, staying hydrated, staying physically active, and being in a smaller place and being safe. So my friends, that wraps it up for today. I want to thank you for watching today, and I want to leave you with my favorite words. Go out and make today better than yesterday, but always remember that I love you. I'll have a video for you, my friends, next Thursday. I hope you have a good, safe week. Stay safe. Enjoy the fall weather. Bye-bye.